Hey, coin collectors, welcome back to Coins Info. Today, we're diving into 3 iconic US dollars that have shaped American coinage: the 1976 Eisenhower Bicentennial Dollar, the 1979 Susan B. Anthony Dollar, and the 2000 Sacagawea Dollar. These coins go beyond currency, they represent key moments in US history and culture. Let's explore their history, design, rarity, and the impressive value they hold today. Let's dive into one of the most iconic coins in American history, the 1976 Eisenhower Bicentennial Dollar. Minted to commemorate the 200th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence, this coin was released during a time when the nation was coming together to celebrate its rich heritage, as well as its progress toward a bright future. The bicentennial celebrations were a nationwide event, and the U.S. Mint took this opportunity to issue a series of coins, but none are as celebrated or as widely recognized as this one. The 1976 Eisenhower Bicentennial Dollar isn't just another piece of currency, it's a piece of history, a symbol of freedom, and a celebration of the achievements of the United States. The coin features two powerful and deeply meaningful designs that capture the spirit of the nation at that time. On the obverse, the front of the coin, we have the portrait of President Dwight D. Eisenhower, the 34th President of the United States. Eisenhower was not only a revered leader during his presidency, but he was also the supreme commander of the Allied Expeditionary Force during World War II. His leadership was pivotal in the victory over Nazi Germany, and his face on this coin pays tribute to the enduring legacy of his leadership during both the war and his time in office. But what really makes this coin stand out is the reverse design. Here, we see the Liberty Bell superimposed over the moon. This design was chosen to tie the country's bicentennial celebration to a significant moment in recent history, the success of the Apollo 11 mission, which in 1969 landed American astronauts on the moon. This was a powerful representation of the country's progress, not just in securing its independence, but also in its technological achievements. The moon landing was a defining moment for the U.S. during the Cold War era, and linking that achievement with the Liberty Bell was a brilliant move by the Mint. It symbolized the nation's enduring quest for freedom and its bold vision for the future. Now, let's talk about how this coin was made. The 1976 Eisenhower Bicentennial Dollar wasn't just your average dollar coin. The Mint produced a total of 45 million Eisenhower Bicentennial Dollars, but there's an interesting twist. The bicentennial design was only issued in 1976, so these coins were special in more ways than one. They were produced into distinct versions, the standard copper-nickel clad, and a 40% silver version. The silver coins, in particular, became highly sought after by collectors, not just for their metal content, but for their historical significance. These silver versions were made available in proof and uncirculated formats, with collectors snapping them up as keepsakes for the bicentennial celebrations. So, what about the value of these coins today? While there were a lot of 1976 Eisenhower Bicentennial Dollars produced, 45 million, to be exact, there are a few factors that can influence their worth today. Condition is everything when it comes to coin collecting, and some of these coins are worth far more than their face value, depending on their state of preservation and specific mint marks. While a typical 1976 Eisenhower Bicentennial Dollar might only fetch a couple of dollars, coins in pristine condition, especially those with a 40% silver content, can go for much higher prices. For example, if you happen to have a high-grade version or a special proof coin, you could see prices in the range of $800 to $1,500. These coins are highly prized by collectors who are looking for well-preserved examples of this historic release. But the really rare versions, especially those with minting errors or from low production years, can break the $5,000 mark, especially if the coin was produced in one of the years when fewer coins were made. For collectors who are lucky enough to own a coin graded MS67 or higher, you're looking at a potential value of $10,000 or more. That's a pretty remarkable price for a coin that was minted in such high quantities. But the real takeaway here is that the 1976 Eisenhower Bicentennial Dollar is more than just a coin. It's a celebration of America's past and its future. It captures a moment in time when the nation was reflecting on its history of freedom and independence, while also looking ahead to the next frontier, whether that was in space or in the social and political arenas. The coin's design, its historical significance, and the excitement around its release during the bicentennial year all contribute to making it one of the most memorable coins in U.S. history. So, if you have one of these coins lying around, it might just be worth more than you think. Coins in excellent condition, especially those that are part of limited releases or feature errors, are incredibly valuable to collectors. And if you happen to find one of these rare varieties in your pocket change, you could have a true gem on your hands. Next up, let's talk about a coin that was part of a bold experiment to revolutionize American currency, the 1979 Susan B. Anthony Dollar with the S mint mark. This coin's journey is one of change, innovation, and yes, some controversy. It was introduced as part of an ambitious effort by the U.S. Mint to phase out paper currency and create a durable, long-lasting dollar coin. The idea was to reduce the cost of printing paper bills, which was becoming increasingly expensive as inflation rose. To help bring the new coin to life, the Mint decided to feature the likeness of one of the most iconic women in American history, Susan B. Anthony. But who was Susan B. Anthony, and why was her image chosen? Anthony was an American social reformer and one of the leading figures in the women's suffrage movement, the movement that fought tirelessly for women to gain the right to vote. By putting her on the dollar coin, the U.S. Mint was making a powerful statement about progress, equality, and the empowerment of women. It wasn't just a coin, it was a cultural touchstone, a way to honor the contributions of a woman who helped shape the nation's history. The design of the coin is simple yet impactful. On the obverse, we see a profile of Susan B. Anthony, with a star positioned behind her head and a wreath surrounding her, symbolizing her status as a trailblazer in the fight for women's rights. On the reverse, the coin features an eagle with its wings spread wide, echoing the design of earlier Liberty-seated dollar coins. The eagle here represents freedom, an ideal that both Susan B. Anthony and the United States hold dear. But despite its well-intended symbolism, the Susan B. Anthony Dollar didn't exactly take off as the Mint had hoped. In fact, it faced some serious hurdles right from the start. One of the main reasons for its lack of popularity was its size and appearance. At 26.5 millimeters, the coin was nearly identical in size to the quarter, leading to widespread confusion in circulation. People often mistook it for a quarter, and the coin's lack of distinction made it difficult for the public to embrace it. Because of this confusion, the Susan B. Anthony Dollar was discontinued after just a few years, marking it as one of the more short-lived experiments in U.S. coinage. In 1981, the Mint stopped producing the coin for circulation, though it was briefly reintroduced in the late 1990s for special commemorative purposes. Despite its brief tenure in the spotlight, however, the coin's historical significance has only grown over time, especially for collectors. Now, let's talk about rarity and how this coin, despite its limited success, can still bring in a pretty penny for the right collector. While the 1979 Susan B. Anthony Dollar wasn't exactly rare in terms of production numbers, millions of these coins were struck. There are specific versions that are worth much more than their face value. The key to its value lies in its minting errors, particularly the wide rim and close rim varieties. These errors occurred when the coin was struck, leading to a slight difference in the rim size, which can make the coin more desirable to collectors looking for unusual pieces. Out of the 1979 Susan B. Anthony Dollars, the version with the S mint mark, produced at the San Francisco Mint, is particularly interesting. While most of these coins are relatively inexpensive, typically only worth a couple of dollars, in average condition those with minting errors can fetch a much higher price. If you happen to stumble across one of these rare coins, especially in pristine condition, you could be looking at a value between $1,500 and $1,000. That's quite a jump from its original value of just $1, but there's more. Coins with especially rare varieties of errors, particularly those graded in mint state, MS67 or higher, can command prices in the $8,000 range or even more. The rarity of the error, coupled with the coin's condition, can significantly increase its value on the collector's market. So, if you happen to find a 1979 Susan B. Anthony Dollar in your pocket change or in a box of old coins, you might be holding on to more than just a simple piece of currency. You could be holding a hidden treasure. In the end, the Susan B. Anthony Dollar may not have succeeded as the everyday coin it was intended to be, but its cultural significance and its collector's value have only grown over time. It serves as a reminder of a time when the U.S. Mint was looking for innovative ways to reshape the nation's currency. And though the public didn't fully embrace it, the Susan B. Anthony Dollar is still a vital part of the story of U.S. coins. So, the next time you come across a 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar, take a moment to appreciate not just its design and historical meaning, but also the potential rarity that could make it worth much more than its face value. After all, in the world of numismatics, you just never know what hidden treasures are out there. Next up, we're diving into the fascinating world of U.S. coinage with the 2000 Sacagawea Dollar, a coin not only rich in history, but one that also represents a cultural milestone in the American West. This coin was introduced in 2000 as part of a major initiative to bring the dollar coin back into circulation. However, unlike its predecessors, the Sacagawea Dollar got it right, blending historical significance with beautiful design, making it a standout piece of currency. At the heart of this coin's legacy is Sacagawea, the Native American woman who played a pivotal role in the Lewis and Clark expedition. Her expertise as an interpreter and guide through the uncharted American wilderness was invaluable, and she became a symbol of resilience, strength, and courage. By featuring Sacagawea on this coin, the U.S. Mint aimed to honor her contribution to American history, as well as provide a visually distinct and culturally significant dollar coin. The design of the 2000 Sacagawea Dollar is the work of artist Glenna Goodacre, and it's nothing short of captivating. On the obverse of the coin, we see Sacagawea holding her infant son, Jean-Baptiste Charbonneau, as she gazes forward with unwavering determination. This striking image captures not just her role as a mother, but also her strength and resolve, embodying both the spirit of motherhood and the resilience of the Native American people. The reverse of the coin showcases a magnificent eagle in flight, a powerful symbol of freedom and the soaring ideals of the United States. This imagery makes the Sacagawea Dollar not only a piece of currency, but a tribute to the enduring values that define the nation. What sets the Sacagawea Dollar apart is that it was the first circulating U.S. coin to feature a woman other than the allegorical figure of Lady Liberty. It marked a significant step forward in the representation of women on U.S. coinage, highlighting the importance of including diverse stories in the nation's history. Produced at the Philadelphia Mint, the Sacagawea Dollar came in both standard copper-nickel-clad versions and special proof versions, each showcasing the exquisite detail of its design. However, despite the coin's beauty and the historical weight of Sacagawea's story, the Sacagawea Dollar never really gained widespread circulation. In fact, the public wasn't quite ready to embrace a dollar coin, and by 2007, the U.S. Mint replaced it with the Presidential Dollar series. While it may not have become a household coin, this didn't diminish the value for collectors, who saw it as an essential piece of U.S. numismatic history. Now, let's talk about rarity and value. The 2000 Sacagawea Dollar is one of the most coveted coins in the entire series. While regular circulating versions don't carry much more value than their face value, there is a special edition that has caught the attention of collectors, the so-called Cheerios Sacagawea Dollar. This rare variation was part of a limited release in 2000, distributed through special mint sets to certain banks. These coins are incredibly scarce, and if you're lucky enough to come across one, especially in excellent condition, you could be looking at a value anywhere between $1,000 to $5,000. Some high-grade versions, particularly those from specialized collections or with unique features, have even sold for as much as $10,000. But why is this coin so valuable? It's not just about rarity. The Sacagawea Dollar, with its historical context, beautiful design, and cultural importance, is much more than just currency. It's a small, tangible link to a moment in American history. And that's why collectors flock to it. So, what can we take away from this? These coins aren't just valuable for their face value or their rarity, they are pieces of history, each telling a story that shaped the nation. From celebrating the bicentennial of 1776, to honoring the pivotal role of women in history, to commemorating the explorers who charted the American West. U.S. coins like the Sacagawea Dollar capture the diverse narratives that make up the fabric of the United States. And, as we've seen, the value of these coins can skyrocket when they're in the right condition. So, the next time you're digging through your change jar or going through your spare coins, keep an eye out. You might just stumble across a hidden treasure that's worth far more than its face value.